Hi everyone, my name is Katja, I'm CatColouring, and a warm welcome to my channel for both new and old subscribers. Today's video is a translated flip-through of this coloring book by Aikawa Sora. This is the third in a line of translations of Aikawa Sora's coloring books I have bought from Amazon Japan. Up on my channel you can find the other two coloring books I have already translated in the playlist Translated Flip-Throughs. So before we begin, grab yourself a nice cup of coffee or a mug of tea and let's get started with this one. As you can see, the cover is absolutely beautiful and stunning with these beautiful flowers. We can see a beach and a little bit of the ocean. And this coloring book is also called Flower Walking Trail I found on my travels coloring book, and then the title itself, Beautiful Island Flowers and Landscapes, Aikawa Sora. Here we find the biography of Aikawa Sora, and it says, born in Kanagawa Prefecture, graduated from Asagaya Art College after attending Setsumo Seminar F School of Illustration and Hiroyuki Yamada's illustration course. She is now a freelance illustrator, active in a variety of media, including miscellaneous goods, books, and magazines. She mainly draws floral motifs using ballpoint pens and watercolors. She has held solo exhibitions and group exhibitions, mainly in Tokyo. Her publications include 24 colored pencils set for a relaxing heart and coloring book Flower Weather, Flower News, both published by Cosmic Publishing. And that's actually it here. So you can see the cover here is also the front page, so you can, after having observed this, color this in the colors you like yourself. And then of course we have an introduction, and then comes the index pages with the content of the books, just like an airy book actually, and also like her previous book I translated here. And then the pages begin. But let us look at the introduction here. And here on the introduction page, which she has written herself, she writes, when I was drawing this coloring book, I was going through a time when it was difficult for me to go out freely or have time for myself. So this coloring book has been made in a period of her life where she was struggling with some things. Then she continues, however, in drawing this coloring book, the time I spent thinking about and drawing islands around the world, it felt like my heart was traveling around the world, and it was a very healing experience for me. By getting this coloring book, readers will also be able to wrap their hearts around the world and feel even a little joyful. And then she continues down here, and just like the previous work, Flower Walks with Small Birds, coloring book Flowers and Landscapes of the World, please feel free to color the islands of the world with your favorite colors as you like. Try to create your own world, of course, as long as it's within reason. If you're busy, I recommend just flipping through the pages without applying any color, or applying just a little bit if you feel like it, as it will be a good way to change your mood. The trick is just to relax and color casually without thinking about having to color it neatly or finish it. And this is actually quite a good advice for all colorists. You don't have to feel the pressure of completing a page. You can just color a little bit here, a little bit there, and then just get a little coloring in. And then she finishes off by saying, the tiara Tahiti depicted on the sleeve of the cover is a national flower of Tahiti, and it is said to convey the meaning of praying for safety. I pray for healthy and peaceful days. Aikawa Sora. So a very beautiful introduction to this coloring book, which reminds us a bit of her previous ones, but that was flowers and landscapes of the world, and now it's beautiful island flowers and landscape. Or you can also translate it to beautiful flowers and island landscapes. Well, let's get to it here. So we have, as I said, the index here, and you can see a lot of double pages here. And here on the first pages, we are at Santorini, a Greek island in the Mediterranean Ocean. And it says, or the title of this double page is Flowers Staircase with Cats. So we have some cats here enjoying the view over the ocean. And we have the very typical houses here on the island of Santorini, you know, the white houses with the blue roofs here. We have a couple of churches here. And then we have the cliff here. We have the stairs, because the island of Santorini, when you go, it's up on the mountain, the houses are. So you have to climb a lot of steep staircases to get up to the top of the city. So you can either ride on a donkey or you can walk yourself all the way up. And then we have some very beautiful flowers here. And it's, of course, bougainvillea that we find here, as in so many other places in the Mediterranean. And you can see we have the sun here, so you could either color this one as a sunrise here, with the boats out here, perhaps they're out going out to fish, or the setting sun and the boats returning home after a day of fishing. So this could be a very, very beautiful sunset scene, and sunrise for that matter, with the light coming in here on the buildings. Really, really beautiful. So the next page you can see here, it says Malta Islands. So we are in Malta. I have actually been to Malta 3 times. I really like Malta. Such a nice little country in the Mediterranean with, I think it's 6 islands, and 3 of them are with people living on them. And then the last 3 are just sort of, well, almost like cliffs in the sea. But here we have Malta, and this is a harbor, the colorful port of Spinola Bay. And the flowers we find here are daisies. So you can see it's some sort of a tropical look, because they do have palm trees. And then all of these boats, I remember from Malta, they actually have a horse eye painted at the front of the boats to be some sort of protection. The horse eye also was a symbol from ancient Egypt that meant protection from, you know, bad spirits, and also from evil ocean spirits. So they actually paint this horse eye on the boats here in Malta, the fishing boats, before they got to sea, to protect them from, you know, going under in bad weather. And they are extremely colorful. These boats, I remember, they are blue and red and yellow and green. Lots of strong, bright colors for these boats. So this will be an absolutely beautiful page to color. And most of the houses in Malta are made from this sort of creamy, yellowish sandstone that they have. So, and then they also have usually painted white and green on the woodwork of the houses. So I can actually picture in my mind right now how I want to color this double page here. Really beautiful. Okay, so we are here in Sicilia, or Sicily, one of the Italian islands in the Mediterranean. And here we have this temple and almond blossoms. So we have almonds, you can see here, and the blossoms from the almond tree. We have this ancient temple from Roman days, actually. And on this page, it's called Blessed Fruits and Vegetables. And here we find tomatoes, and we have grapes, and we have lemons, of course, because of Sicily. And then, of course, olives here. And then this mandala-like pattern here. So again, 2 beautiful pages here. Then we are here at another Italian island, Burano Island. And here, of course, Italian ice cream have some gelato, this page is called, and the other one, colorful houses. You can see it's some sort of canal here with boats, and we have a bridge across to the other side, and here, and the houses with laundry and surrounded by flowers here. So here on this page we find, because it is sort of a flower book here, so we have daisies and gabaras. You can see the gabaras here, and over here we have mimosa and also gabaras here. And now it's becoming much more tropical, because here we are on Jamaica. And on Jamaica, these double pages here are called Tourist Attractions Album, like from a photo album. So here we have a snapshot of Doctor's Cave Beach. We have one of the Blue Lagoon. I can think of half a dozen places on planet Earth where we have a Blue Lagoon. They also have one on Iceland. Dunn's River Falls here. See these waterfalls here, and Blue Mountain. So these, because I have never been on Jamaica, but these must be some of the famous attractions on Jamaica, on the island here, and then surrounded, put up like photographs from a tourist album here, or a photo album, and then surrounded with these flowers and butterflies. And actually, these are coffee berries, and these are from a tree. It's called Lignum vitae, and please excuse my pronunciation. It's a very difficult word, guyayacan tree. So these are flowers from a guyayacan tree, and here we have coffee plants and coffee beans. Or coffee berries, actually, not beans, because they're not beans yet, but the berries here are coffee plants down here. A very original idea to have this as, photo snapshots in a photo album with some of the places you can see on Jamaica. Really, really beautiful page, double page, this one. So this is called Prambanan Temple, and it really looks like the temples they have in Indonesia. I think it's an actual temple from Java Island here, and it's surrounded by the gladiolus flowers here. You can see the tall gladiolus flowers around here. And then on this page we are on Bali, and this page is called Strolling Around the Market in a Resort Dress. So this is a typical dress you would wear in a tropical island here like Bali. You can see we have pineapples and some of all of the fruits and bananas and stuff that you can buy on a marketplace here in Bali, and the sandals that go along with it, and a hat to protect you from the sun. So these flowers here are called Blumera, and a more common name is dwarf golden star, because these flowers are very bright yellow in the color. Absolutely beautiful, and comes from this little plant called the Blumera plant. Absolutely so beautiful here. Okay, here we are in Phuket, Thailand, and it actually says that this is called Phi Island, and it must be one of the well-known islands from Thailand. I actually haven't been to Thailand, so I don't really know, but I do know that this is a beautiful double page, 2 frames here, this with Phi Island, and here with an elephant walking on the beach, and then surrounded by all of these beautiful flowers. And these flowers are, of course, the jasmine flowers, sort of framing these 2 drawings in here. A lovely, lovely double page spread here. So from Thailand we go to Sri Lanka, the island near India, and this one is called Lotus Flower, which is very fitting because these are lotus flowers. And over here it's called Tea Time with a view of the tea plantation. And this is very typical. You have the tea plantation here with the tea bushes sort of in terraces down the hill here. And then, of course, a table set for tea and a little cake also here. And then, of course, these leaves surrounding it are tea leaves. Also a very cute little drawing in this book. And now we have a very beautiful double page spread here from Oahu, Maui. So we are, of course, on Hawaii. And we have lots of delicious food here. And we have lots of beautiful, beautiful flowers. So we have a can of beer here. We have a nice salad. We have some ice cream. I also think this is sort of an ice cream with lots of fruit. We have a plate here with, it looks like strawberries, but also with a lot of fruit here. A cup of coffee, some nice drinks, and a burger and French fries here. So we have here Cattleya, and these Cattleyas are a specific type of orchid. So orchids. And the other flowers are called plumeria or frangipani, which is another name for Hawaii flower. So a specific flower that you find on the Hawaiian Islands here. We even have a rainbow here. Beautiful, beautiful double page spread with the sky as a background and clouds. So we can do a lot of things with that page. Now we go to the Bahama Islands here, and we meet some very nice and well-known tropical flowers here. This one is just called flamingo, and here pigs swimming in the sea. And of course we meet the hibiscus flower here, because it's one of the most tropical flowers there is actually. So hibiscus flowers on this double page spread. And the ocean here and a little beach here. And of course you have the clouds bobbing up here in the background. Of course you could say, well, perhaps it was islands and covered in forest, but I really do think you can see that it is clouds here, and you have some of an island over here. So this is a very beautiful page, and you could color it with a blue sky as a background, but you could also turn this into a sunset scenery with lots of golden and orange and yellow and red, pink colors here. Well, here we are on Cuba, and this one is called Gorgeous National Costumes, and the flowers are, of course, lilies, and again, some hibiscus flowers. These dresses are beautiful, beautiful dresses, and look like they have a long history behind them. Perhaps a bit old-fashioned. I think that they look like something you could have worn in the 19th century, actually. Though I'm not an expert on that, of course. Now for Puerto Rico, and this one is called Going Through Old San Juan. So I'm guessing that San Juan is a city in Puerto Rico, and that these are some of the houses that you meet here. Perhaps Old San Juan is the old part of the San Juan city. We can see the old houses. We have some hot air balloons here up in the sky. And then, of course, we do have some... Oh, and down here we have cups of coffee and fruit and flowers. And the flowers we meet here are rose, of course, carnations, and also it says grandiflora, which is a form of magnolia flowers. So very, very beautiful double page spread here. And an even more beautiful double page spread is the next one from Tahiti, which is an island also in the Pacific Ocean. I think it belongs or has belonged to France. It says this one is called Relaxing in a Water Cottage. And you can see here that this little cottage or what you could call it, is out here in the water at the end here of this pier. And we have also a little boat up here. And then you can see the mountains, and either this is some sort of bay where we find this, or this is another island you can see, and this is the ocean. I actually think that this is a bay. And then, of course, we have this flower, and it is the Tiara Tahiti, the national flower of Tahiti. And, of course, some fruit up here in the trees. Also coconuts here in this palm tree. And Canary Islands, belonging to Spain and in the Atlantic Ocean. And this one is called A Paradise for Birds. And this is sort of a, well, it almost looks like a jungle motif double page spread here with different forms of sort of parrot-like birds here. Also all of these trees and plants. And this one down here is called Euonymus paradisiae, and it's some sort of a green plant with these huge leaves here. And you can use them also in your own garden. They come in many different species, this green plant here. And now for the Galapagos Islands here. And very typical of the Galapagos Islands, we have a huge tortoise here. We have some sea lions here. And this one is called Sea Lion and Prickly Pear Cactus. So this is this prickly pear cactus. We have the sea lions here on this sort of beach. And we have also some crabs here. And on the other page, there we have the giant tortoise and the blue-footed booby. This must be this bird here, surrounded by, it actually looks a bit like jungle plants here. So these are cotton flowers. And as I said, we have the prickly pear cactus over here. We are in New Zealand on this beautiful double page spread. You can see we have a lake here and mountains surrounding it. And this picture is at a place called Te Puka. And it's called Lake and Lupin Fields. So you can see the lupin plants or flowers here. Oh, this could be, I can really imagine this place colored with blue and purple colors here. Both the sky, the lake, and all of the beautiful flowers here. And then some green, of course, here in the middle with the grass and the trees here. What a beautiful double page spread here from New Zealand. And now we are on Prince Edward Island, one of my favorite islands in the whole wide world, especially if you are a huge Anne of Green Gables fan, as I am. I have watched the movies so many times. I have read the books countless of other times. I love Prince Edward Island. I think you find some of the most beautiful landscapes in the whole wide world on Prince Edward Island. And this is, of course, Green Gables here. It's actually called Anne of Green Gables, this page, and the other page here, Anne of Green Gables costumes. And this is the dress that Anne wore when she was a child in the beginning of the series here, with her boots and her hat and flowers and her bag that she used to carry with her from the orphanage. And here, of course, we have cherry blossoms. I love that scene where Matthew has picked her up at the station, and then they drive through this valley filled with all of these blooming cherry trees, and it's completely white, and it's just called some sort of common name. And then Anne says, no, it has to be, I think she says Moonlight Valley or something, very poetic, because Anne of Green Gables is, if anything, so poetic and uses her imagination so much. And on this page, we, of course, have roses and poppies. But beautiful, beautiful pages here. Here we are on the Isle of Skye. So it must be actually Scotland. And it's called View of Eilean Dunan Castle. I'm probably not pronouncing it correctly, but I'm not Scottish. And this one is called Botry Harbour. And we have a lot of roses here and other flowers here on these pages, but mostly roses actually. I don't know if there are many legends of the Isle of Skye, but I have heard it in songs and read about it, so it must be some very special place. If anyone knows the true meaning of the Isle of Skye, please write it down in the comments. I would actually really love to know it. I've only just heard of it, Okay, so here we are in Ireland. Also one of my favorite places on earth, and I have actually never been to Ireland. But I have written with a pen friend I got when I went to the 8th grade. I got a pen friend called Mary, and she lived in County Wexford, and then she moved to Dublin when she grew up. And she is, I think, 1 or 2 years older than me, so she must be around 50 now. Gosh, and I have known her since I was... How old was I when I was in 8th grade? I was 14. I was 14 years old. I actually haven't written to her in some years now. It's been a little more difficult when the children were growing up, to keep in touch. But we did keep contact for more than 20 years. Really love writing with Mary. Well, anyhow, Ireland, the Green Island or Emerald Green Island here. Here we have some, it's called Irish masterpieces here. So this must be a reference to clothes made of wool, because they have a lot of sheep. This page is called Flock of Sheep. And beer is Guinness Irish or Scottish or English? Oh, I'm going to have so much trouble with people from the UK right now and Ireland if I say, I don't know if this is Guinness. I must have to look it up before I color this page, because there's foam, so it's definitely not the whiskey. And then these sort of rings that they make, and boots. And of course, wrapped around in a wreath of shamrocks and roses here. And then this one, perhaps for me a bit more Irish here, with the sheep here, and then we have pansies and daisies here, and then of course a castle, in the background. I can't imagine Ireland and Scotland actually without a castle in the background. So from Ireland to New Caledonia, which is also an island belonging to France, or at least it has belonged to France at some point. This is called Poolside, and this is, well, a more touristy page actually from such an island. You can see here the drinks and the chairs here, and we have some ships here, and then you can lie here and relax in the palm trees. And of course filled with bougainvillea and the niaouli tree. So this is a special kind of tree with flowers here. And Fernando de Noronha, Brazil, an island outside of Brazil. So this must be in the Atlantic Ocean. I've never heard of it. But this one is called Diving with Dolphins. And, well, you have the bay here, or the ocean here, the beach and the jungle. And here we are down at the bottom of the ocean, or in the water at least, with these two dolphins here. And the flower here on this page is, of course, Anthurium, which is the flamingo flower that you can see here. And that is a lovely page here. So the motif actually continues here, and then you will have to color the water here. Special double page. From Brazil to Fiji. And Fiji, I think, is also in the Pacific Ocean here. This is called Colorful Sea Life, and here we are down at the bottom of the ocean. We have actually a coral reef here. I can see with a lot of different fishes, jellyfish, and so on. And then we actually have these flowers. These are the national flowers of Fiji, and they are called Takimushia, or more commonly known as Medinilla water something. It's a difficult name, but these flowers here are the national flowers of Fiji. So they must be, you know, colored as if we are up on the land. And then all of this is an ocean-themed double page here. From Fiji to Mauritius. And here, this one is called The Mysterious Dodo and Camoral Fields. This is actually a very beautiful nature-inspired page. We have the waterfall down here, and a tree, forest, woods here surrounding it, and a lot of flowers. And then this dodo bird, I do believe this is actually extinct. You can see we still have the flamingo flower, the anthurium flower here on this page, together with some butterflies actually. And Madagascar. So here we have a lemur and a chameleon here. And here we have the baobab trees, known from Madagascar, which is an island off the coast of Africa. These here we have, it's called jacaranda, which are, it's actually some sort of a tree with huge purple flowers. And these baobab trees are one of the oldest sort of trees in the entire world. You know, the baobab tree itself is one of the eldest tree species in the whole world here. And here you have a beautiful page with them. This one could also be very beautiful colored, you know, in sunrise or sunset colors, and not necessarily as a typical day scene, at least. Papua New Guinea, also in the Pacific Ocean, not that long from Australia. And this one is called Shell and Birum Pattern. And the other one is called Kunishima's The Scarlet Bird of Paradise. So this is apparently a special bird, scarlet red bird here, a paradise bird, sorry, that you find here on this island. And this one is surrounded by orchids, different kinds of orchids here. And Cebu Island or Kibu Island, belonging to the Philippines, also an underwater double page spread here. Dance of the whale sharks. So these are whale sharks. They are actually, as I remember it correctly, really huge. I believe that whale sharks, I think that they are the world's largest fish, because, you know, sharks are fishes and not mammals like whales are. And some of the flowers we find here, because peculiar enough, we have flowers in the water here, and also a lot of gemstones, diamonds and emeralds and stuff. This is a very fun page to color. I can see this with stars over here and gemstones and flowers here. Wow. So we have daisies amongst the flowers here, and a flower called Lysianthus, which is more commonly known as Eustoma prairie gentian. Well, a lot of beautiful flowers here on this page with dance of the whale sharks. Easter Island. Oh, I have never been to Easter Island, but I have watched some documentaries about Easter Island and these big statues. And this one is also called Moai Statues in the Moonlight. Beautiful page here. Beautiful night page here. You can see we have a beautiful frame here. And then this is some sort of a snapshot taken by these statues under the moonlight with some palm trees here at the sides. And then, of course, a flower called Madagascar periwinkle. From the south to the north, Iceland, with polar bears I'm not sure that there are polar bears on Iceland. I've never heard of it. Perhaps one or two during the winter if the ice stretches from the North Pole in ancient times, because it certainly doesn't now because it's melting. But this one, and this is the beauty of this page here, this one is called Aurora of Bijou and Flowers. And yes, it is certainly bijou. We have aurora made of flowers and also of all of these little gems and pearls. But I could just picture this, you know, colored with the curtains here of turquoise. And, well, it could be purple or more pinkish, reddish curtains here of the aurora. And then the dark night here. Perhaps a little bit up here, actually. And then the flowers and the jewelry in the middle. And then the reflection down here on the ice. So this must be a frozen lake, actually. And then we have snow covering the ground here. This could be an extremely beautiful page to color. I have to say, really, really beautiful. Well, before I get lost in Iceland and all of its wonders, now we turn to Taiwan. And here it says, make a wish with a lantern. We have lanterns up here, and then this flower spread here. So these flowers are button flowers or cornflowers. There are many different species of cornflowers, so they don't look like the ones I have in my garden, but cornflowers nonetheless. And a cat on a cloud here, perhaps floating away with the lanterns. And for the last 4 double page spread pages, we are in Japan. Here we are at Yakushima. And again, remember, these are islands, and Japan is an island realm, you know, consists of a lot of different islands. So this is the Yakushima Island. And this one is called Encountering Yaku Deer. So these are a specific kind of deer that you find in Yakushima Island. And then we have the rhododendron flowers from a rhododendron plant that you find on this island, Yakushima Island. And this is a typical forest scene where you have the trees and you have the stream flowing through the forest. And then the deer here in the forest. Beautiful. Here we are on I have practiced this name, Hachidojima Island. And not a double page spread, but 2 pages here. Yellow Hachicho, it says. I think this is some sort of a kimono. You can see here with the sandals and the bag, and then the flowers, of course. Sorry, with freesia flowers behind it. And here, the Hachidojima, well, from above. So this must be the island itself and a view to it, or a view from the island. I'm not quite sure. This plant is called Angelica Keishi. And in Japanese, Ashitaba. And it's some sort of a green plant here. So all of these leaves, green plant. And Sado Island. And this is called Toki and Iwaguri. With, of course, lilies here. So they look a bit like ibises and ibis, these birds. And then we have these beautiful lilies here. And a view over the ocean and the cliffs here. And the mountains. And the last pages here, Okinawa Island. And here it's called Roadside Walk. So we have a roll here, one of those flowery trails that the book is called also, with many beautiful tropical flowers here. And over here, a selection of the tropical flowers we have met in this book, bougainvillea and hibiscus and indigo and lantana. And then we have reached the end of the book. It was first published in September 2021, and already in December that year, 2021, the second edition came. So the first edition actually sold out quite quickly. And that was Beautiful Island Flowers and Landscapes. So that was it. That was the translated flip through of this Japanese coloring book by Aikawa Sora, Beautiful Island Flowers and Landscapes. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I also hope that you will press the like button, because liking my videos not only helps my channel, it also tells me that you like the content that I publish here on my channel. So if you want to see me color in this, drop a comment down below. I am going to start a color and chat coloring series on my channel here in the beginning of the new year. I will launch it, and I will be coloring in different books and chat a little bit, like like the title of the video says, color and chat. So hopefully my voice will be even better at that time, but you know, it takes some time to get over pneumonia and also having lost your voice. So, but drop a comment down below if you want me to also color in these Japanese coloring book and not just Hanna Karlsson or Maria Trolle or Johanna Basford in that series. So, until I see you in the next video, have a lovely day. Take care of yourself. Happy coloring. Bye.